Ho, welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age 2.
You came. Who are you? You probably thought you'd got away with it. Sir Karas and the others' deaths. Do you even remember them? They were searching for the missing Starkhaven apostates and were murdered. An inquiry determined the apostates must have killed the Templars, but I've suspected for years that Sir Thrask and you were responsible.
So you're here to beat a confession out of me?
I don't need a confession. My brothers, tonight justice will be done.
Well... it seems that, our meeting at midnight is really just a group of Templar which are correct that we killed the other Templar. So we're gonna fix it with more killing.
That's strange. The door's wide open, and not a single guard posted. This is not the Lady Harriman I remember.
Yeah, because it must be too short if I do just
There is
that.
something very wrong in here.
We're doing Sebastian's quest as well. Which, if you don't remember, that is okay. The setup for this is the entirety of... we went to Sebastian in the first act, killed the mercenary company, then he found out who hired the mercenary company. That is why we're here.
More wine, or I swear I will drown you in the dregs.
That sounds familiar. I don't envy anyone in this household tomorrow morning. She doesn't even see us. This is no normal wine.
Must be some pretty good wine. Because she is hallucinating there.
More locks. It must be molten. You, more coins. I want every scrap of gold in this house.
Please, Monsieur!
There's nothing to fear. You'll be beautiful. Pour it over her.
Don't! You'll kill her! He can't hear me.
That might have been unnecessary
Perhaps I
to
should be the one.
hit that man in the face, but
It's madness.
we'll never know. Something's definitely not right in this house, though. Perhaps these diaries will give us a little bit of insight on that.
I visited this house often as a child. They could not have concealed such goings on.
And the one thing I can say is at least this house having a similar design to the other noble's house makes sense, because if you want to have a fancy house, sometimes your fancy houses look the same.
Oh, lower.
And it seems we walked into something
I beg your pardon, Hawk. I did not mean to expose you to such things.
a bit personal.
Oh, the feather. Use the feather. Where have you been all my life? Today, I am more than a man. Come, felicitate me.
He has no idea we're here. I've known Ruxton Harriman my whole life. He's a complete prude. Midlife crisis.
Where's your brother? Let's ask him.
That might have been the guy we hit in the face.
You know what they say about a man with big hands.
You know, I might be able to give you a hand
right
with that.
here.
I love that.
I have the manacles right here.
There's something definitely not right in this house. And I am definitely getting lost in here. Maybe we shouldn't have killed the main head of this family in an alleyway when we were told to, when we were helping out our old buddies, the mercenaries. Because yeah, things seem to have gone south with this family since then.
Turn back. There is nothing here for you.
You're not in a strong negotiating position.
You shall not enter.
Well, that would explain quite a bit about what's going on in this house now, wouldn't it? Seems they're demons. And somehow the Templars are not finding out about all these demons. Look how vigilant they are.
Really? Demons. Temptresses. We must see what greater evil they were protecting.
Truly. There's like what? Maybe a dozen demons?
A ruin. So close to Hightown. I remember no such thing.
And this is quite the basement they have.
In the shadows! More of them!
This certainly does fulfill the hey, there may be demons here. And it's really, really well concealed. But this place is a reused environment. You don't see it right now, and it's really, really well done with all the new architecture added in. But the pillars, the archways, the skulls, you can't really tell. But maybe this room looks familiar. You know, it's just missing some wooded houses, some scaffolding. And it is really strange how no one has figured out about like this underground cavern thing inside of a noble family's basement.
Please forgive your children.
Especially with how much the Templars patrol around and just work on things, apparently. I mean, they had enough spare time to try and kill us. So, obviously they should be able to investigate things like this. They really have dropped the ball on this one. Silly's pretty though, in that room at least. All these weird stone coffins, statues. I don't know what they'd be called, but they sure are all over the place. And well, we've run into an issue. Mainly, my party glitched themselves. And they're not unglitching themselves. This requires a drastic solution. Just a little bit of a drastic solution. Won't take too long. Just gotta find the right... There we go. Where were you guys when I needed you? If only they would do this with more of the environments in general, it'd be pretty nice. Because while it's the same environment and the same map and everything, it looks different.
We're good to go.
So it seems to be much better. And this is a rather annoying battle to have here, because there's this Revenant, and behind us just spawned an Arcane Horror. Without the damage we have, that would be very difficult. Here's a nice little store. It's more or less the monkey's paw store. That or really just a careful what you wish for. You might just make a mistake or get more than what you bargained for. Well, here's a surprise. A loading screen into a dialogue. Any second. Yep. This is a It's a bit of an odd thing, because normally this goes straight into the dialogue. There is no loading here. I don't know why there's loading here, and it decided to glitch just a little bit. Thought I was gonna have to reload. But it fixed itself.
Submit. I put that idiot Goran Vale into the prince's seat, but the other families won't heed him. I must marry him to Flora and solidify our hold. But I need more power.
I've given you much.
Well,
Your desire.
we at least found the main cause of all our issues here.
And your children. What more can you offer?
Your plot ends here.
Who is this? Who are you? How did you get here?
Do you really need to ask
You
how
were my mother's friend. How could you murder?
we came in through the only entrance?
Such an ugly word. I prefer remove the only obstacle between her and her dreams.
This was your idea.
I could create such desires if I wished, but it's far easier to nurture those that already exist. The desire for power is easy to find. You and your friend both possess it, do you not? You both wish to rise.
Well, we do like power.
Are you offering a deal? Are you bloody daft?
A deal? With you? What have you to trade other than ambition too large for your grasp?
Your blood stain in your body?
Bring me the loyalty of 2 cities. Then perhaps you will be worthy of notice.
Do not listen to her.
Oh, such a pious soul, masking so much ambition. Are you so different from my lady? You yearn for the same lands, the same power.
I am the rightful heir. She is a usurper and murderer.
You swore to put aside worldly goods and ambitions, but they couldn't stop you from wanting them.
No one. Tim's our man but us.
I will hear no more from you.
Time to kill him. It's our job to lead him down the wrong path. Not yours. You're the only bad influence in this. And boy,
I must pray for Lady Harry.
That sure went fast.
Let us return to the Chantry.
Sebastian, I am so sorry is such an inadequate word. When I think what Mother made us do, what those creatures made us do.
We were friends, Flora.
It was like a cloud came down on me. All I could feel or think was what the demon allowed.
Did your mother order the attack on Sebastian's family?
She did. You know Mother, Sebastian. She was always jealous of your parents. The demon twisted that until it was all she could think of. She was determined to seize Starkhaven for herself.
Was your mother a mage? How did she find this demon?
We've never had magic in our line. Perhaps that made Mother too confident. She thought she could deal with the demon and not fall prey to it. Those ruins there were unearthed when we expanded the house. Mother found the demon inside. I think she had signed her bargain before we even knew.
They're all dead. Your mother, too.
My mother has not existed for some time. What died today was only a puppet of the demon. If it takes every last coin my family owns, I will make reparations to everyone we've wronged. Starting with you, Sebastian. We weren't the only ones vying for Starkhaven. If you face more opposition, you have my support.
It will not make up for what happened.
No, that's true.
I'll tell you when I need you.
Well, back over to the Chantry. Somebody's been doing things they weren't supposed to in the Chantry.
I had hoped prayer might cleanse me of the Desire Demon's touch, but I still hear her voice so clearly. I feel like I've bathed in filth that will never come off.
The Harrimans won't stand against you. Will you ride back to Starkhaven now?
I don't know. Flora said others are still vying for the title. I should find out who before I charge in blindly. In truth, I can't feel as righteous as I did before. I keep asking myself, do I want this because it's right? Or simply to have what I never thought I could?
Aren't you your parents' heir?
I'm the youngest son of 3. My parents were rather traditional. They wanted the heir and the spare, and I was left in the cold. They put me in the Chantry to prevent my competing with my brothers.
You seem very dedicated to the Chantry. You were put there against your will?
At first. But it was the best thing that could have happened. I was a wild boy, a shame to my family. The Chantry made me a man. It's odd. When I wanted to rule, I would have been terrible at it. Now that I might be decent, I don't know if it's the right thing to do.
It's the wisdom not to want power that lets you use it wisely.
You didn't feel what that demon stirred in me. It cannot be right to lead any army to Starkhaven with such doubt in my heart. I owe you more than I can say, Hawke. I will offer my service to you here before I move on.
I can think of a few services for you to perform.
What? Why are you smiling like... Oh. Oh my. That's not what I meant. I think I need to pray. A lot.
Maybe you do, Sebastian. Maybe you do.
I think this is yours.
My grandfather's bow, but where did you get it?
One of the Flint Company mercenaries had it.
Thank you. It's hard to mourn the loss of a thing while my family lies dead. But I did think of it.
What's the story behind that bow?
As the youngest son, it was my place to lead Starkhaven's militia. But I never had a talent for swordplay. Too much getting hit. My grandfather said the bow is the wise man's weapon. You can defend your city without opening its gates. Grandfather said the day I could pull the string on his bow, it would be mine.
Then why didn't you have it with you?
I was 13 when my grandfather made me that promise. I would rise at dawn to practice my shots until I could hit the eye slit of a helmet from the top of the ramparts. But my parents pledged me to the Chantry before I could show him.
Were you and your grandfather close?
He was a man of the world, Prince of Starkhaven. But he had the most unshakable faith in the Maker. When my parents threatened to pledge me to the Chantry, he told me he'd gladly trade his title for a life of contemplation. The Maker ordained a place for each of us, I remember him saying. We have only to serve.
Think of them with every arrow you fire to retake your land.
Yes, this will be a fitting weapon to carry against the
We'll be
usurpers.
helping out the Qunari
Thank you for thinking of me, Hawke.
next time.